Where's your Gykores? Amorim mocks Arteta after Arsenal's disappointing start. In a season that had promised so much for Arsenal, the early signs have been troubling. Supporters entered the campaign full of hope after a strong summer of transfers, tactical tweaks in pre-season, and a clear vision from manager Mikel Arteta about where the team was heading. Yet, within the first few weeks, that optimism has been tempered by frustrating results and underwhelming performances, none more so than in the case of new signing Victor Gykores. Following a narrow yet disheartening 1-0 defeat to bitter rivals Tottenham Hotspur in the North London derby, Arteta has been left to answer uncomfortable questions about his squad's ability to meet expectations. The spotlight has been particularly harsh on Gykores, whose arrival was meant to finally solve Arsenal's long-standing need for a consistent, high-output striker. Adding to the sting of Arsenal's stuttering start, former Sporting CP manager, and current Manchester United boss, Ruben Amorim couldn't resist the chance to poke fun at Arteta. Known for his straight-talking manner and sly humour, Amorim made light of Arsenal's woes during a recent press conference, publicly wondering where the highly touted forward had gone missing. The flop against Spurs. The derby was supposed to be a statement match for Arsenal, a chance to assert themselves early in the season against a resurgent Tottenham. The build-up was electric, with pundits labelling it one of the most anticipated fixtures of the opening months. The first 20 minutes hinted at a promising evening for Arsenal. They controlled possession, pressed high, and forced Spurs deep into their own half. But football matches are rarely decided by good intentions alone. As the game wore on, the lack of sharpness in the final third became glaring. Gykores, who had been billed as the player to finally bring cutting edge to Arsenal's attack, struggled to find his rhythm. His movements were predictable, his link-up play tentative, and his finishing, when the rare chance presented itself, lacked conviction. By the time the final whistle blew, the Swedish striker had registered no shots on target, prompting frustration from the home crowd. It was after this match that Amorim took to social media with a short but stinging message: "Where's your Gykores?" The comment instantly went viral, igniting debates among supporters and drawing knowing chuckles from rival fans. While some Arsenal followers dismissed the remark as mere banter, others admitted it hit a little too close to home. A disappointing start. The Spurs defeat wasn't an isolated off day for Gykores. Just a week earlier, in a Europa League fixture against Villarreal, the striker had again failed to impose himself. Arsenal fell 3-2 in that match, and though they created chances, their finishing was wasteful. Gykores' lack of impact is particularly concerning because Arteta had identified him as the player to elevate Arsenal's attack into elite territory. The 26-year-old arrived from Sporting CP with an impressive record: 43 goals across 2 seasons, a reputation for relentless pressing, and a knack for big-game moments. Yet the transition from Portuguese football to the Premier League has proved challenging. Defenders are quicker, physical duels are more intense, and the tactical pace is relentless. So far, Gykores has looked like a player still searching for his place, caught between trying to adapt to Arteta's possession-heavy system and playing his own natural game as a more direct striker. The Manchester United factor. The drama has an added twist. Gykores rejected Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Ruben Amorim, who managed the striker during their time together at Sporting CP, had been eager to reunite with him at Old Trafford. United made a competitive offer, banking on the chemistry between player and coach to produce instant results. Instead, Gykores chose Arsenal, reportedly drawn to Arteta's long-term vision and the promise of being the focal point in a young, ambitious side. At the time, the decision seemed reasonable. Arsenal were coming off consecutive strong seasons, including a near-title run, and the club's trajectory was upward. But Amorim has made no secret of his disappointment at missing out. In a press conference last week, he said, "It was a shame. I saw a lot of potential in Victor, and I still believe he can be a great player. But sometimes players choose a different path, and it is up to them to make it work. Right now, it seems he is struggling." United's strong start, 3 wins in 4 matches, plus victory in the Premier League Summer Series, has made the comparison between the two clubs unavoidable. In the court of public opinion, it's another point to Amorim and another headache for Arteta. A rivalry rekindled. For years, Arsenal versus Manchester United was the defining rivalry of the Premier League. Though recent seasons have seen other clubs rise to prominence, the historical tension remains, and moments like this fan the flames. Amorim's light-hearted jab may have been intended as harmless banter, but it feeds into a larger narrative, that Arsenal, for all their promise, still have something to prove against the very best. Arteta has been careful not to engage in a war of words, but his body language in recent interviews suggests he is well aware of the subtext. In a league where psychological edges can be as valuable as tactical plans, Amorim's comments might just serve to intensify the competition between the two managers. Gykores under pressure. Pressure is an unavoidable part of life for a Premier League striker, especially at a club with Arsenal's ambitions. Every missed chance, every miscontrolled pass, every moment of hesitation is magnified. Gykores isn't just battling defenders, he's battling the weight of expectation. The £60 million price tag, the comparison to past Arsenal forwards, the constant reminders of his decision to turn down United, all of it hangs over him. Arteta has so far defended his player, insisting that Gykores' work rate and team contribution will soon translate into goals. But the patience of supporters is not infinite. A few more scoreless outings and calls for him to be benched will grow louder. The road ahead. The upcoming fixtures present both danger and opportunity. Arsenal face a mid-table opponent next, a match that, on paper, should offer Gykores the platform to get off the mark. But in football, should is a dangerous word. If he can find the net and deliver a strong performance, the narrative could shift quickly. Confidence, once restored, has a way of transforming players. Conversely, another blank could deepen the doubts and force Arteta to rethink his attacking options, perhaps giving more minutes to academy graduate Ethan Nwaneri or shifting Gabriel Jesus back into a central role. For Arteta, the challenge is as much about psychology as tactics. He needs to find a way to free Gykores from the mental weight of expectation, while still holding him accountable to the standards required at this level. Conclusion. As Arsenal navigate this difficult stretch, all eyes will remain fixed on Victor Gykores. The potential is still there, but potential means little without end product. Ruben Amorim's pointed question, "Where's your Gykores?" will continue to echo until the striker answers it on the pitch. For Arsenal's season to recover its momentum, Gykores doesn't just need to score goals, he needs to become the player Arteta believed he was signing. Only then will the mocking stop, the doubts fade, and the focus return to Arsenal's push for the top. Until that happens, the narrative will be shaped by the contrast between what was promised and what has been delivered.